Time now for Media Watch, a look at what's been making news in the Chinese media. The China Daily has a report on the use of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, to ward off H1N1 flu. Here, Professor Jia Chang holds a burning stick which he uses to create a vacuum in a glass cup attached to a patient's leg at a clinic in central Beijing. The technique, called wet cupping, is designed to draw bad blood from behind the knees and is a popular TCM method of preventing cold and flu. The paper says many Chinese people are turning to TCM treatments, either as an alternative or in addition to vaccinations and facial masks, as the number of H1N1 virus cases grows. A New York-based group has claimed that workers in some Chinese suppliers to Wal-Mart endure illegal and degrading conditions. China Labour Watch investigated 5 factories in China and revealed that none of them had implemented Wal-Mart's basic standards. The People's Daily added that a total of 10,000 workers covered by the report suffered serious rights abuses. These include illegally underpaying overtime, withholding wages for failing to meet production quotas, excessive fines, denying the use of gloves as it would slow production, and substandard dormitory conditions. As well as operating 250 stores in China, Wal-Mart procures billions of dollars worth of goods for its US outlets here. The company said it had launched an investigation into the 5 factories mentioned in the report. A notice on a car parked in the southern city of Shenzhen drew a large crowd of onlookers recently. The Shenzhen Evening News reports that the sign read, "My father is the head of the Public Security Bureau. I can commit crimes without fear." The police arrived and interviewed the owner of the car. The man, who gave his name as Chang, said he was simply using the tactic to draw attention to a murder case in his hometown. The paper reports that Chang was not directly connected to the murder case. However, he felt strongly that an injustice had been done, and so devised this extreme method of publicising the case. The city of Shanghai has opened a shelter to help those fleeing domestic abuse. According to Sina.com, the centre is being run by the Shanghai Women's Federation and the Civil Department. It will provide shelter for women, children and the elderly who live in the city but have nowhere to go. However, gaining access may be easier said than done. Officials say stays will be limited to 7 days, and those who wish to use the centre must submit a written application to a sub-district women's organisation, as well as supplying a police report and identification papers. Prison guards in Shanghai have swapped instilling discipline for instilling knowledge into their prisoners. Under a new plan, officers will sit down once a week and teach inmates classics from Chinese literature. The Global Times reports that the idea is that prisoners should learn from the behaviour of the more reputable characters in the books they study. At the moment, prisoners spend 5 days working, 1 day studying, and have 1 day to relax. The new measures were adopted in response to a government call for prisons to reduce the number of repeat offenders in the country's jails. 2 doctors in Hubei province have been fired after they accidentally fitted a steel plate in the left leg of an 84-year-old patient. Unfortunately, the patient's fracture was in his right leg. According to the Chutian Metropolis Daily, the 2 physicians at the Tongcheng Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine now face an investigation. The patient, Zhao Rongbing, will go under the knife again soon to remove the steel plate from his left leg and fix it in the right one. The Shanghai Daily has a report on changing attitudes towards sex among China's 20-somethings. The paper says that while still traditional in some attitudes, those born in the 80s are more accepting of sex before marriage than their elders were at the same age. The results showed that less than 10% of those questioned were opposed to prenuptial sex. That compares to more than a third who disagreed back in 1998 and well over half back in 1992. However, about 75% of those interviewed said they still believe in sex before marriage only with the person they love and intend to wed. Staying with the Shanghai Daily, and customs officers in the city recently seized an elephant tusk being smuggled into the country by post. They say it is the biggest such piece ever to be intercepted in the mail. The tusk, measuring 5 foot 7 inches long and weighing almost 50 pounds, was determined to belong to an adult African elephant. The officers became suspicious about a declaration for African ornaments being mailed from Japan and checked the contents. Since July 2008, Chinese customs have confiscated almost 1,000 pounds of carved and uncarved ivory, which is being smuggled into the country. And that's today's Media Watch. Indeed, that's all from the team here at BON News for now. Thanks for watching.